Hariom children, today we shall be learning cell organelle part 2. Before we go to cell organelle, let us have a recap of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Children, prokaryotic cells are normally found in bacteria, blue-green algae, somehow in pleural pneumonia. So this type of cells we get prokaryotic cell. Normally it is found in unicellular species. All the unicellular species are having prokaryotic cell, whereas when you will talk about multicellular species, they have eukaryotic cell. Basic difference between these two is what? Prokaryotic cell do not have any nucleus, means they do not have any defined nuclear membrane. Neither they have nucleoplasm or nucleolus, whereas in eukaryotic you will find a definite nucleus and all the content of nucleus is present. That's why it is higher developed animal in compared to prokaryotic cell, right? You shall be seeing in prokaryotic cell, you will find some cells are there which contain with organelles like mitochondria, Golgi complex, etc. Right? But these all cell bear several organelles. But here these cell organelles are normally absent because it itself behaves as a cell. You will find in prokaryotic DNA, and whereas in eukaryotic a developed part you will get. So we see that unicellular species and multicellular species, the difference between how they are with prokaryotic unicellular and eukaryotic multicellular. Now we shall be coming back to cell organelles. Last class we have been completed mitochondria and nucleus. So now today we shall be going to endoplasmic reticulum. So first of all, let us see the location of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum normally found in between the cell membrane and nuclear membrane. In between this, the endoplasmic reticulum is present. Means it is the inner side of the nucleus membrane and the cell membrane towards the outer layer. It is an irregular network. You can have a look to this diagram. It's an irregular network, okay, and tubular membrane. The membranes are double layer tubular membrane. This endoplasmic reticulum is normally of two types. One is your smooth endoplasmic reticulum and another is your rough endoplasmic reticulum. Whenever the endoplasmic reticulum is with ribosome, they are rough endoplasmic reticulum, but whenever they are without ribosome, they are smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Basic part of this endoplasmic reticulum, we shall be saying that they help as a supportive framework for the cell. They help in synthesis and transport of protein and lipid, right? And these are normally found in between animal cell and plant cell. In both the type of cell, you shall be getting endoplasmic reticulum. As I told you, endoplasmic reticulum may be smooth or rough. When it is smooth, then what happens? It is without ribosome. This ribosome which you are seeing over here in this picture, these are endoplasmic reticulum strain you are seeing started from the nuclear membrane to the cell membrane, and these red dots are ribosome, right? But whenever they are present in endoplasmic reticulum, they are called rough endoplasmic reticulum, right? So this ribosome also they normally found scattered in the cytoplasm. Okay, and this is the site of protein synthesis. Basically, the ribosome is a site of protein synthesis. We'll go to the next organelle, which is very important, Golgi bodies. We say Golgi apparatus also. Golgi body or Golgi apparatus normally flattened membrane sac, which consists of vesicle. These are the vesicles you are seeing. These are all vesicles. You are seeing the tubular structure, cisternae. These are the cisternae you are looking here, cisternae. And vacuoles are also present in Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus basic purpose is to help in secretion of enzymes and hormone. And it also help in formation of acrosomal sperm cell and yolk cell. They form the cell wall also in the plant cell. This Golgi complex in the plant cell, they are not as developed. That's why they are known as dictyosome. Golgi apparatus are also absent. Normally they are absent in matured RBC as well as in sperm cell. Okay, this Golgi apparatus you will find they are consist of this vesicle and vacuole. So it is an important part which is located scattered in the cytoplasm. Okay, any part of the cytoplasm you will be getting Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus, when it is boarded up, then we get another structure which we say lysosome. So lysosome are a part of the Golgi apparatus, right? These are contained around more than 40 enzymes. So different type of enzymes is present in lysosome. Lysosome is basically known for intracellular digestion, right? So the intracellular digestion in lysosome is for engulfing foreign germs, all the injured dead cell which are really harms to the cell, that can be engulfed by lysosome. So lysosome otherwise known as suicide bag of a cell, because it has the digestive enzyme which can engulf the foreign particles and make the cell secure, or rather safe, from all type of germs attack. We will see the next centrosome. Centrosome is an important part in animal cell. It is found in animal cell but absent in plant cell, right? The centrosome is located in the peripheral part of nucleus, and it is also found sometimes in the cytoplasm. This centrosome consists of two centrioles surrounded by microtubules. Okay, these microtubules help to form spindle fibers during cell division. That means centrosome directly help in cell division. You will find the spindle fibers which are forming the asters. These are the asters produced during the cell division and help in meiosis and mitosis cell division. But this centrosome is absent in plant cell, only located in animal cell. So what we say, these are the basic cell organelles found in animal cell. Now we are coming to plastids. This plastids is found only in plant cell, absent in animal cell. The plastids is a double membrane organelle. It is only present in plant, and the basic purpose is that it contains some pigment, and the pigment present in plastids vary from different plant cell. This is the green pigment. What picture you are saying is a green pigment. Chloroplast means the plastids contain chlorophyll, which is a green pigment present in the leaf of the plant, right? So that's why it is called chloroplast. Whenever the plastids contain with white pigment or colorless, such as in potatoes, that is called leucoplast. Whenever it is orange or red, we say chromoplast, right? And whenever you are getting purple or violet in color, we say the xanthophylline, right? So these are the plastids which we get. The plastid normally contain DNA and RNA, which help in synthesis and also in photosynthesis process it helps. They are normally found in plant cell. These plastids is absolutely not present in animal cell. We are coming to next part. These all cell organelles we have gone through, they are all living part of the plant and animal cell. Now we are going to non-living part of the plant and animal cell, which we are called otherwise cell inclusion. So cell inclusion, the first we are say granules. Granules are normally found in both plant and animal cell. Their membranous structure, either they are present in the crystal or they are present in droplets. Whenever they are present in the plant cell, we say they are starch, and in case of animal, we say it is glycogen, right? And basic purpose is that they store food. We will come to the end part of this organelle. This is again vacuole, which is also a non-living part of the plant and animal cell. And basically this plant, this cell, this white part, you are saying the vacuole, it is enlarged or more bigger in plant cell, whereas in animal cell we will find very small in its size. This is basically contained with the cell sap. In plant cell it is present, and which contain the cell sap, and they provide the rigidity and turgidity to the plant cell. It store water and food for the plant, right? And whereas in animal cell it's normally contain some granules and some solute molecule along with the water, right? So these all we are learning about the cell organelles, living and non-living part of the cell. Thank you.